Live across North Texas and beyond, this is the Jenna Ryan Show.
Ain't that America? For you and me. Ain't that America? Little pink houses for you.
Jenna Ryan is a world-renowned speaker and thought leader, ranked in the 87th most influential person online by Fast Company magazine. Jenna Ryan has spoken to thousands around the world and is now speaking to you. So with all things real estate and beyond, here is Jenna Ryan.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for listening. You guys, it's going to be a great show today. I have gathered a lot of information for us, a great guest today, and I'm so excited to share. We're all going to sit down and learn today. That's what it's all going to be about today. This is I've been gone for 2 weeks. I took a little vacay for the summer, and now I'm back. Somebody new, ready to rock and roll. We've got Dr. Blake Bennett today. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much. I do have to say before we get started, I do like the choice of music. Nice John Mellencamp that you played there.
Thank you. Little pink houses for you and me, which you may not know this, Dr. Bennett, but I have pink as my color. Pink is the color that I have on all my signs. I have open house signs. My signs are pink, hot pink, and who else would do that? Nobody but me, but it's a wonderful idea because my stuff shows up really well.
True.
So here's the deal. Dr. Blake Bennett is my title lady's husband, and she's bragged you up. She's told me you're just the greatest thing since sliced bread. Or, no, you're not husband. Y'all are fiance.
Yes. I follow Beyonce. I liked it, and I put a ring on it.
Aw, that's so sweet. So she's my title lady. She's totally awesome. I'm not allowed to tell anything about title because that, it's not – that's kind of against the law for me to do that or something. There's some sort of – okay, forget it. We won't go there. But anyway, the point being is that here we are today. And I have wonderful guests coming up as well. So you guys need to listen for the next month because it's about to get – he's like the first one, and then we've got another great one, and then another great one coming in August. But today, we're going to talk about something that is very informative, and that is the agricultural ag exemption.
Right.
Okay, and I'm gonna let you go to town, but hang on. First of all, you guys, we are live on Facebook, so you can come and watch us live on Facebook as we perform for you here live on Facebook at Jenna.Ryan1. And then we're also on the radio at Talk Radio 1190 AM. And you can also go and watch every show I've ever done on YouTube at the Jenna Ryan Show. So you can like those, share those, tell your friends, and sit down because now we're about to bring it to you about the ag exemption. Now, what is the ag exemption, Dr. Blake Bennett from Texas A&M?
Okay. The ag exemption, it's kind of a common term that the industry uses or the communities use. It's actually a value that the Central Appraisal District puts on land. The Central Appraisal District can value land based at market.
Okay.
That's what you're used to, being in real estate.
Right. They just do whatever they want.
Right, exactly. And that floats with the value of just supply and demand in the market.
Okay.
If you have the ag use value, the value of the land for tax purposes is based on its productivity value. How much can it actually produce? And so, for instance, we've got some land that's on the tax roll just south of Stonebriar Mall,
right,
on the south side of 121.
Okay,
about 30 acres. It's valued at $28.8 million.
Wow,
at its market value.
Okay,
but because it's in agriculture,
right,
the value is about $6,700. That's what the taxes are based off of.
So what's the difference in taxes you would pay on $25 million versus $6,000?
Okay, $28.8 million, you're going to be paying about $653,000 per year in property taxes.
Okay.
But it's in agriculture. $6,000 is the value. So they're paying about $150, $155 per year in property taxes.
Okay, so I have a lot of clients who are looking to purchase land for various reasons. I have clients who are looking to purchase land to live on, and I have others that are looking to buy 70 acres out in the pathway of the North Dallas growth over there, Van Alstyne or all of those areas.
Yes.
And so those people really need to understand this ag exemption and how to get it and what it is.
Okay, right. And that's what I deal with all the time in my job. Again, I work for Texas A&M University. Work
Okay.
up here, Texas AgriLife up at Coit and George Bush, just south of George Bush.
Okay.
And we get calls all the time with, I've bought this acreage. What can I do to keep my ag use?
Okay.
And so
Get your pen and paper ready.
Right, exactly. Number one, we have to realize that that the ag use, the valuation there only applies to the land itself. Does not apply to any buildings or structures. It's just exactly like what you see whenever you get your tax statement at the end of the year. You have a value for the land and you have a value for the improvements.
Does it have to be a certain acreage?
Some counties do require that. Some do not. That's based.
Interesting.
It just depends on the central appraisal district. Each one of them are a little bit different. That's why it's important to check with each county central appraisal district before you start doing anything at all.
But you work for several counties.
Right, exactly.
What do you do?
I teach. We provide outreach education to the public.
Okay, like you're doing now.
Right, exactly.
How perfect.
Set up through the land-grant university system. Each state has a land-grant university. Texas A&M is Texas's land-grant university.
Okay.
And so we're charged with doing outreach education to the public,
Okay.
paid for by the taxpayers. So
We're paying for this.
You're paying for this, and I thank you very much for my salary. If you like what I'm doing, please, I'd like a raise.
Right.
If you've got any pull there. But I'm the economist, so I'm the one that can put you to sleep very, very quickly.
Oh.
Very, very
Don't
quickly.
do that. We want to stay excited and happy.
Okay, all right. So I'm charged with pretty much providing education in the area of the business side of agriculture to Northeast Texas. And I do have some responsibilities statewide. For instance, I am charged with providing education in terms of limited acreage, small acreage operations.
Okay.
That's kind of my go-to thing.
Okay, so that's good because we have plenty of that going down around here.
We absolutely do.
Not a ton, but not as much as zero lot lines.
Right, exactly.
But we do have, a good deal.
Oh, absolutely. Agriculture is still viable in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, very much so.
Okay.
We production-wise, that's your production of your commodities themselves.
Okay.
You're looking at about $1 billion. That's with a B. $1 billion added to the DFW economy every single year just from agriculture itself.
Okay, are we talking the cows that are over there in Carrollton?
We're talking the cows. We're talking
steers?
the wheat. We're talking the cotton, the corn.
Is that what ag is? It's cotton, corn,
It's
wheat?
cotton, corn, wheat. It's you can go into lavender. You
What?
can have irises. You're growing irises out in the field.
You can have llamas.
Llamas, yes. You can have llamas is another one. Yes, absolutely.
Peacocks.
Yes, emus and peacocks at one time were very, very popular, and
Chickens,
that market's
cows.
kind of the emu market's kind of cratered a little bit. But yes, that absolutely. And then once we go past production, we look at the industries that provide, say, chemicals and fuel to the agricultural industry.
Really?
We look at industries that sell the products. We're talking about a $10 billion additional money added to the DFW economy every single year.
Okay, that's interesting, but are we talking about, but that's not included in ag?
Yes.
People that supply things to the agricultural?
Yes.
Okay, so basically this is the government giving tax subsidies or exemptions to help the agricultural, is this how did this come about?
It goes from the production sector where someone's out there producing wheat all the way up to Mrs. Baird's bread that is baking the bread. That's still part of agriculture. If agriculture were not present, Mrs. Baird's bread would not be able to be in business.
Interesting.
So they are still part of the food and fiber system.
Wow.
And right down to your grocery stores that actually sell the bread that Mrs. Baird's bakes.
The grocery store gets an ag exemption?
They don't get an ag exemption. No, they're part of the agricultural industry.
Okay.
Now, whenever you're talking about the ag use that the property taxes are based off of, that's just from producing an agricultural commodity. That's out there with the cows. That's out there with the corn or the wheat.
What about oil? What about gas?
No, oil and gas are not part of. They're valued at commercial value, at market value.
Okay. So the agriculture, who created this and why, and how long has it been around?
It's the state of Texas that created this. I'm not exactly for sure when the current law was put into place. I believe it was in the 80s.
Okay, interesting.
Generally, we're talking about the 1D1 open space is the actual name of this law that is created that values land based on its productivity, on its agricultural productivity.
Wow. I'm very interested in this because I do sell real estate and people buy land, and sometimes they buy property or they want to buy property that doesn't have an ag exemption. So we're going to get all into what constitutes an ag exemption, how to get it, what to do. First, we've got a break. We'll be right back after this.
I can't count the times.
Hi, this is Bernadette. Do you want to get to know your body inside and out? You can tune in to One Life Radio every weekday at noon right here on Talk Radio 1190 and the iHeartRadio app.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
There are a lot of jobs out there.
Can I take your order?
But not every job is a career. That's where Dallas Community Colleges come in, with courses that prepare you, training that makes you employment ready, and the tuition is just a fraction of four-year and technical schools. So you want to be a chef? You're hired. An auto mechanic? You're hired. A nurse?
You're hired.
Dallas Community Colleges, higher education that actually gets you hired. Find out more at dcccd.edu.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event. And now, while selection is best, it's the best time to buy. With amazing offers across a full lineup of Ford vehicles, now is the time to make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Stop by a local Ford store or shop online at buyfordnow.com, because there is no better time than right now to get behind the wheel of a new Ford during the Ford Summer Sales Event. The Ford Summer Sales Event is here. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on a great lineup of Ford SUVs. Best-selling claim based on 2017 calendar year sales. Not all buyers qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $1,389 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment. Not available on Expedition. For all offers, take new retail delivery from authorized Ford dealer stock by 7/31/18. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for qualifications and details.
In small towns and big cities around the world, Habitat for Humanity volunteers gather. Hammers are raised, bricks are laid, and another family finds shelter in a home they help build. Habitat volunteers are changing lives for the better, and in the process, maybe even their own as well. Support the work in your community or wherever your heart leads you. Volunteer, get involved, and help build it. Visit us at habitat.org.
From the Talk Radio 1190 Weather Center, I'm Anthony with your DFW weather. Partly cloudy today, but the high 104, going to feel like 106 with the heat index, so make sure you hydrate. Tonight, cloudy with the low around 81. Tomorrow, 40% chance of rain with the high around 96. This weather report brought to you by In-N-Out Burger.
There's no room for compromise in a quality burger. That's why In-N-Out uses patties that are never frozen and only the freshest produce that's grown locally. Because that's what a hamburger's all about.
Little pretty houses for you.
Welcome back to the Jenna Ryan Show on Talk Radio 1190 AM.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why I chose to go on a little quick weekend trip to L.A. with my girlfriends. I have no idea. I just said L.A., why not? Why the heck not? You've got the mountains, you've got the ocean, you've got some smog, you've got some traffic, you've got some shopping, you've got some great picture ops, great photo ops. So we're going. So y'all look out for the Instagram photos coming at an Instagram near you on the Jenna Ryan Show when we go to L.A. in 2 weeks. I won't be here. I'll be in L.A. But anyway, only for 2 days, though. Okay, here I am today with Dr. Blake Bennett of Texas A&M. He is an ag guru.
Okay.
He's an ag guru, and people call him up and say, "Oh, what do I do? What do I do?" So we're really getting down here talking about what. Okay, so the next thing was, how do you get the? Help me get back on track.
How do you qualify for the ag use or for the ag exemption is what it's commonly called.
How do we qualify?
Okay, number one, it applies only to the land.
Okay.
Number two, you have to be producing an ag commodity that is for sale or for your own consumption.
Okay.
Also, you have to be producing at an intensity that is similar to what we see in the county. So, in other words, if you've got 5 acres and generally you're going to see 3 cows out there,
okay,
but you only have 1, then you may not qualify. You have to be similar to what we generally see in the community, in the county.
Who makes these decisions?
That's the central appraisal district of each county.
Okay, so and what if you have 1 cow one day and then you're planning on getting 4 more?
That will be fine as long as you have the plan. You're just trying to do things right. Is what they're looking for.
Okay, so this is like a good old boy. We have cows. We have
right, and they're just looking to make sure, yes, you're serious about this and you're trying to do it right.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And then if you do not have your ag use and you're wanting to qualify, you have to be producing a qualified ag commodity. In other words, you have to have cattle or you have to have wheat or some other ag production out there for 5 of the last 7 years.
Okay, so if you have... Let's say you live on a little subdivision.
Okay.
And you have 1 chicken.
That's not going to qualify.
That does not qualify.
And it probably will not qualify because it's within a subdivision. Now, and it's not in agriculture. It's already been taken out of agriculture. It was probably in agriculture at one time, but now it's taken out.
So properties that are taken out, it's probably got the HOA, and the deed restrictions and everything.
Exactly. But I've often wondered, being in the industry that I'm in,
right?
What if we went out and created a subdivision on land that was designated agriculture?
I'm sure this has come up.
Yes. And then we plot out our home sites.
Right.
And let's say that every home has 1 acre.
Right.
But then there's area that we cannot use. Let's say it's a floodplain or something that's still in agriculture.
Okay.
What if each person in that community owned an undivided interest in, say, 3 acres?
Wow.
Within the agricultural portion. And let's say you made it into a vineyard or some other ag commodity.
Okay.
The community could then actually sell that ag commodity at the end of each year.
Wow.
And instead of paying HOA dues, maybe the HOA pays the community.
Oh, my goodness. That's mind-boggling. That's mind-blowing, and I'm sure that someone would love to know how to do that. That's building a subdivision.
Well, instead of a golf course, you just maybe have a vineyard.
Yeah, and they're doing that. Everybody's growing their own vegetables and things.
Community gardens.
Community gardens. That's a good name for it. And they're doing a lot of that, like in Salina and stuff like that.
Yes.
So that could definitely come up in the future. Now, whenever you say, but how does that fall into the ag is only attached to the land?
Okay, just like you own a house, you get your tax statement each year.
Right.
It puts a value on the land itself.
Yes, it does.
And then you have a value for the improvements, the house.
Okay.
Same way with agriculture. If you owned 25 acres, it would give you a value for the land itself.
Okay.
And then it would have a separate value for any barns that you built or the house that you built or anything else. It would have a separate value for improvements.
Which brings to mind, now don't you have to have a fence in order for it to be ag?
You do not if nothing's there to be fenced in. There wouldn't be any reason to have a fence if you had wheat or corn.
So wheat, but if you have a cow,
you need a fence.
You need a fence because they'll go out on the road.
Yes, absolutely.
One time we were driving home from a place at night, and there was this cow in the middle of the road. I'm talking 5 minutes from my house. Mm-hmm. We were like, "Go home, cow." Because my girlfriend knows all about cows and horses. What about horses? Is that ag?
It can be. This is one that's very, very touchy.
Okay.
Generally, you have to be producing offspring and either keeping or selling those offspring. You can't just have a pleasure horse out there that you go and you ride on Sunday afternoons after you get through with the radio show.
Why not? Because, I mean, offspring, we don't eat it or anything.
Right, exactly. But still, you're producing an agricultural commodity that can be sold in the market if you're producing offspring. If you just have a pleasure horse, then it's a pet.
I'm
basically.
sure a lot of people say, hey, I've got a cow. I mean, I've got a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that ag exemption on this, $1 million land.
That's very tough. Yeah.
So
generally, they're not going to do that.
Okay. So, and
I do say generally because each appraisal district is different. Each one of them looks at the law a little bit different. Some have minimum acreages, some do not.
What if a piece of land is just sitting there, doing nothing for the past 100 years?
It probably is not valued at agriculture.
Really?
You have to be engaged in an agricultural activity.
So it's not like all land is in ag until you take it out.
No.
That's kind of the impression I got.
Right.
I don't know why.
It's actually not. And I know that the actual law is called the 1D1 open space.
Okay.
Open space does not mean it's just left open. You have to be engaged in an agricultural commodity, production of an agricultural commodity.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yes.
And so so agricultural commodity, is there a long list of things that are included?
Oh, absolutely. It's wide open. And I think that's where people that buy agricultural commodities get so tied up because they're looking for, well, what can I do? Give me that magic bullet. And what do you want to do? Do you want to grow irises? Do you want to grow grapevines? Do you want to raise cattle? Do you want to have sheep? Do you want to goats? Name it. There's people actually that even grow weeds. Not California, not Colorado weeds. I'm talking about like weeds, that we would normally see as an invasive weed, and they harvest those and dye them and sell them to flower shops.
Okay, I just had a huge epiphany.
Yes.
So now I know why they have these steers incorporated next to a big building.
Yes.
I get it.
They're
because they're getting the ag exemption.
Yes. They're getting a lower tax value. So they're paying lower property taxes every single year. And that's the way that they will keep it in that until it is developed.
Okay.
And at that point in time, that's where it comes out of agriculture, and you can get the rollback tax.
Okay, how does that work?
I see a
Can you see those
comment there.
I don't have my glasses on.
Pigs and hogs?
What about pigs and hogs?
How many units per acre? I'm not for sure. They're asking about how many animals per acre.
That's a great question.
Generally, I'm not for sure on pigs and hogs.
Okay.
But for cattle, we'll need about 3 to 5 acres per animal. Here in Northeast Texas, yes, you need about 3 to 5 acres per animal.
Do you still get that exemption?
You can, yes.
On a pig or a hog?
I believe you can, yes. Now, wild pigs, I wouldn't think so. I think that your neighbors would probably shoot you if you were trying to promote wild pigs.
Right. You don't want a wild boar going around and attacking people. Okay. Now, I'm sorry. I did not mean to take the subject off of the weeds. I want to go back to the weeds.
Okay.
So there are some people that literally harvest weeds.
Yes, and some will even pay landowners to go in and harvest certain weeds because once they're dyed, the floral industry buys them to put into flower arrangements.
Wow. Well, I'm in Carrollton, and there's a lot of open space over there, a lot of hilly area, and it's all developing. So you've got these developments and then these steers. What is the easiest? Maybe steers? Or hay?
The easiest is to find someone that's willing to come in and lease your property.
Okay.
And they'll, depending on how close you are to development, they will generally pay. I will pay you for access for your land for me to raise something on it.
Okay.
As you get closer and closer into the Metroplex, we see what's called reverse leases.
Okay.
Where you, the landowner, will actually pay me, the farmer, to come in and work your land, and I'll get to keep everything I produce.
Okay. That sounds like a better deal for the farmer, huh?
Absolutely it is. That's a better deal. But you're getting the tax savings is the reason you're having me farm it. So that's why you will pay me.
Okay.
The further out you get, generally, I'm going to pay you. I'm the farmer. I'm going to pay you, the landowner, for use of your land.
Okay. Very interesting. But before you buy a big chunk of land, you want to make sure that it has the ag exemption already. I wonder how long that process is to get the land exemption.
If it does not have any history, you have to produce 5 out of the last 7 years.
What?
Yes. It will take you 5 years of production history showing that, yes, I've been producing on it for the last 5 years, and then you can apply. Now,
okay.
If you're buying land that I own, and if I've been producing on it for the last 3 years, I can sign an affidavit that, yes, I have been producing for 3 years, and I can file that with the Central Appraisal District, and you, the buyer, will get 3 years of credit.
When do you start getting that?
When do we start? Oh,
we gotta go to break. We gotta go to break. We're going to break right now, and we'll be right back.
I can't count the times I almost said.
After work.
See you guys tomorrow.
After picking up the kids. After a long day.
See what's going on here.
Hear Michael Berry.
You gotta get after it.
The Michael Berry Show, weekdays at 5 on Talk Radio 1190.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
From the Talk Radio 1190 Weather Center, I'm Anthony with your DFW weather. Partly cloudy day with a high of 104, going to feel like 106 with the heat index, so make sure you hydrate, please. This evening, cloudy with the shower possible with a low around 81. 40% chance of rain tomorrow with a high around 96. This weather report brought to you by True Car.
Looking to buy a car? Online shopping can be confusing. Not anymore with True Price from True Car. Now you can know the exact price you'll pay for the car you want and see what other people paid for it too. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit True Car to enjoy a more confident car buying experience.
Welcome back to the Jenna Ryan Show.
That's a good question.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Jenna Ryan Show. I'm Jenna Ryan. I am a real estate broker here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I serve Dallas, Prosper, Frisco, Salina, Van Alstyne. I love to go out there and sell land all the time. If y'all are looking for land, I can help you. And I'm here today at Talk Radio 1190 AM, and we're also live on Facebook at Jenna.Ryan1, and you can also watch us on YouTube. Watch all of my shows on YouTube, The Jenna Ryan Show. I'm here with Dr. Blake Bennett today. He is an associate professor of extension economist with Texas A&M, right?
That's right.
I don't think I said that right.
You got it right.
Yes. And we're talking all about the ag exemption today, or ag, period, in Texas, which is a huge thing. If you see these steers in between the buildings, you know that the owner of that property is getting a tax break. That is why.
Yes.
I love knowing that now. I feel so much better. Okay. And we're going to talk now about rollback taxes. What is that?
Well, I think first, before we do that, there was an important question that was asked on is this Facebook?
This is Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook Live,
right.
yes.
It was asked, what about crops that are planted in commercial areas that are never harvested? If you never harvest the crop, then the Central Appraisal District will eventually catch you, and your ag use will be stripped from you.
Okay.
So it will be taken away.
Okay.
So you have to go through the whole process. And yes, I think that a lot of business decisions, particularly in close to development, like in your Plano, your Frisco, they are kept in agriculture for the purposes of paying lower property values.
Right.
Or property taxes until it is developed.
Okay.
You get a little bit further out, and they're interested in actually – I'm a farmer. That's my life. That's my livelihood. That's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And so they're involved for those reasons. So they're not driven just by the property taxes.
Okay. So let me just kind of go on a little tangent.
Okay.
So all of these places, Dallas is moving in that way.
Yes.
I was working on a subdivision in Van Alstyne. And they were trying to get easements for the water and, electricity and all that.
Right.
Nobody wanted them to come.
Right.
Nobody wants a bunch of building going on. So there's and you've got the guy at the tax in the county that's been there for 30 years, that has a lot of control over where the water lines are going. And I'm not saying that properly, but it's a big mess. And trying to get your subdivision built in these rural areas where people want they want acreage, they want to build their home, but it's really a battle because these people do not want it. They want to be farmers, like you said.
Well, and it's if I work with a lot of commercial producers here in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and in Northeast Texas.
Okay.
And land values have gotten to the point that if you're farming, you cannot afford to buy your own land. You're going to have to rent it.
Really?
Yes. It's you could not make that agribusiness work.
Okay.
There's no way.
Interesting.
And so you see a lot of farmers around here that are large, full-time. That's what I do for a living. And they're renting land. And in 1 year, development sets in, and half of the acreage that they have is gone to development.
Okay,
so
it's making sense.
You're rocking and rolling along here this year, Jenna, and then all of a sudden next year, half your income's gone.
That's like displacing the little bunnies that are.
It's not just displacing the bunnies; it's also displacing those family farmers because
Huge.
There's a lot that have to completely move.
I have not even thought of that.
We just have to leave because half of our land's gone.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Or we have to find additional land to farm. So
that's where the tension.
It makes it extremely difficult, and there's more difficulties with farming in and around your developing areas.
Wow, that is so interesting. Okay,
Yes.
Now the topic of the hour, we're going to talk about rollback taxes.
Okay.
What is a rollback tax?
If land is currently in agriculture, so
Okay.
it's being farmed,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden you stop. Let's say you're going to build houses on it, or you're going to build a shopping mall,
Okay.
or anything else. It's going to be developed.
Okay.
Then the state will capture what's called a rollback tax.
Okay.
And they will look at the difference between what you should have paid in property taxes and what you actually did pay in property taxes for the last 5 years. And they're going to add 7% interest per year onto that money.
Wow. Why do they do all that?
Well, because you've gotten the benefit of a lower tax value for the last how many ever years because it's been in agriculture. Now you're taking it out.
And you're going to pay the piper.
You're going to pay the piper on that. It's a way that you need to make sure, yes, it's time to bring it out of agriculture.
Okay.
It is time to develop it. It makes more economic sense to develop that land.
You really
And
have
so
to weigh that.
You really have to, yes. And you as a real estate agent, you're the one that gets to negotiate who pays that, either the buyer or the seller.
Okay.
And so it just depends on how you negotiate it.
So if you have land that you purchase,
Yes.
and it has been an ag,
Yes.
for the past 7 years,
Yes.
and you're going to purchase it and build a commercial building, then you're going to have to pay rollback taxes for the past 5 years plus 7%?
Plus 7% interest per year. Yes.
That just doesn't sound fair.
It can work out to about 13% of the land value.
It's just something that's built in there.
That's right.
That Texas is going to make their money on, Now, is this
It's
how all
development.
states are?
I'm not for sure about all states. I do know that's how it works in Texas. That's state law. That's
I mean,
set in
I'm just
stone.
curious to know how other people handle their state stuff and their
I'm
farming.
not for sure. I haven't branched out to other states yet.
That's all right.
Done a lot of work, and there's more work here in Texas to do than I could finish in my lifetime.
Right. Okay. So you are with Texas A&M. You're
Yes.
an associate professor, extension economist. What is that?
That's part of the land grant university system where we're charged with doing outreach education. It was set up in the 1860s.
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln actually
1860.
Abraham Lincoln actually signed the act to create the land grant university system to provide research and outreach education in the area of agriculture for each state. So each state has a land grant university within their borders, and within that they have an extension program that we have horticultural agents, we have economists, we have beef cattle specialists, and our charge is to go out and just help the agricultural industry. We also go past that, and we work with individuals on nutrition. You've probably heard of our youth component, 4-H.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard a lot about just the Texas A&M real estate.
Texas A&M Real Estate Center, absolutely. That's
the real
funded,
estate center is the information.
That's funded by your fees that you pay every year for your real estate license.
It is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know they give really good information about the different counties and the sales and the state of the real estate. What's the deal? Texas A&M is always in the middle of everything.
Well, it's because we're the land grant university and we provide that outreach education.
Well, also you're in the middle of the veterinary.
Yes,
veterinary.
Yes, there is. At one time, that was the only vet school in Texas. My alma mater, Texas Tech, got the okay to have a vet school there.
Well,
so yeah, get your guns up.
Yes, there you go. I went to Dallas Baptist University, so it took me 10 years to graduate. I graduated when I was 30, went part-time the whole time, but baby, I got my degree, and that is what matters is I got it. I was 30 years old. I had my own company. I told all my staff, I will be right back. I've got to go graduate college. They laughed, and it was a wonderful experience. So, okay, back to agriculture. So you teach classes to people.
Yes. And it's anybody that pays taxes in the state of Texas.
Right.
That's my clientele.
Okay.
And so I've traditionally, since I started in 1999 in this office, I've generally gone after and done outreach education to the people that own the land, the farmers themselves.
Right.
And I still do that. However, this past year, I've give you a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
I noticed that reaching those individuals that already owned the land, they were still leaving with the idea, I still don't know what to do. I'm still clamoring, I need help. I still need help. And so I wanted to try and reach them early. I wanted to try and reach them hopefully even before they purchase the land. Let's get a plan in place. And so I actually approached Republic Title this year here in Plano.
Okay.
And I asked them, would they consider partnering up? Because I knew that they had access to be able to get the word out to real estate agents.
Okay.
And Republic Title was receptive. They said, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And we scheduled up about 8 different meetings, different programs, and it went over very, very well.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing trainings with real estate agents on what is the ag exemption, what do you need to know, and we've got a few programs coming up in August. If you're interested.
Yeah.
We've got one that's at Ebby Halliday at their Green Acres program.
Okay.
It's coming up on August the 16th from 2 to 4. And that one's on Sigma Road there in Farmers Branch.
Yes, it is.
You can give a call to Ebby and see about, I'm not for sure as far as, what capacity they have. I've also got one on August 22nd, 1 to 2 o'clock, for real estate agents only.
So basically, hang on, you're going to get that. So basically, you're going to get to the through the real estate agent, because how do you find these people?
Right.
Okay, let's say you have a list of landowners.
Yes.
Where's their phone number? I would like to know.
Well, they generally come to us. They find
come to you.
us. They find us.
Okay.
Because they're worried. What do I do? Maybe they call the Central Appraisal District,
and then they send
then they're saying, "Hey, get in touch with Texas AgriLife," is what we're called, Texas AgriLife Extension.
Okay, we got a break. We'll be right back after this.
Said what's on my mind, but I didn't. Just the other.
The Russ Martin Show.
I wouldn't breastfeed a child up here in our men's room. I don't know what the ladies' room looks like. You take a kid in here to our men's room up here to breastfeed, kid's going to pray for SIDS.
Especially after what I did to it earlier today.
The Russ Martin Show.
See right there? See my a-hole? It's looking at you going, you have a circle of trust.
Back Monday morning at 7. Talk Radio 1190.
Freak yeah, Jimmy John's.
Freak yeah, what if I just needed one sandwich delivered?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 100 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 24 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
67 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
67's a prime number.
Freak yeah, a whole number greater than one whose only factors are one in itself, I know.
Great. I'll take one turkey tom, please.
Freak yeah, one turkey tom, on the way.
Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
Are you taking Viagra and tired of paying $50 per tablet? Marley Drug has generic Viagra for just $10 per tablet. $10 for generic Viagra is a savings of $40 per dose. Call now and get free shipping on 10 tablets or more of generic Viagra. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy licensed in all 50 states. For information, go to marleygenerics.com or call us at 800-452-1760. That's 800-452-1760.
Hey, this is Chuck Morgan, voice of the Texas Rangers. The Russ Martin Show Listeners Foundation supports the families of Dallas-Fort Worth police officers and firefighters who have selflessly fallen in the line of duty. They watched over our families. Help us to watch over theirs. To donate, please go to russmartin.com. Thank you from the Texas Rangers.
From the Talk Radio 1190 Weather Center, I'm Anthony with your DFW weather. A high of 104, going to feel like 106 with the heat index, so make sure you hydrate. This evening, cloudy with a shower possible with the low around 81. Tomorrow, we have a 40% chance of rain with a low around 96. This weather report brought to you by In-N-Out Burger.
Here's a classic thought for dinner. Head over to In-N-Out. The burgers are made fresh to order with the highest quality ingredients, the same way they've been doing it since 1948. It's a family tradition, and it's what a hamburger's all about.
The phone lines are open at 214-787-1190. Here's Jenna Ryan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Jenna Ryan Show. I am a real estate broker here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm a native of Dallas. I was born in downtown. My family was born downtown. My great-grandmother was born downtown. My other grandmother were original settlers of Addison, Texas. They had a turkey farm. And that was, 100 years ago. And my grandmother went to what is now the Magic Time Machine. So I'm like a Dallasite through and through and through. One more thing. People are always asking, how did you get a radio show? Well, someone asked me to be on their show, and I was like so pumped when I came on their show for like 5 minutes. I was like, I knew that is what I needed to be doing. With my life. You know how you get the butterflies and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing? That's what happened to me. And so I never looked back. And, then I went and talked to the, talk radio, and they're like, here, have an hour. every week. And here I am from 11 to 12. And also, I'm on Facebook, live, Jenna.Ryan1, and that's the number 1. And also, I'm on Instagram at The Jenna Ryan Show, where I just totally show everyone my whole life with me and my doggies and selling houses. So anyway, I'm here today with an amazing guest. We're learning so much about Texas. I'm with Dr. Blake Bennett. He is an associate professor at Texas A&M Agriculture, and he is the go-to guy in Texas, in the area as well, about agriculture. Can you get the ag exemption? Do you qualify? Do you want to buy this piece of land, right?
Yes, absolutely. Those are the questions that I get all the time.
So people could just pick up the phone and call you?
Yes.
Do you want to give your phone number?
I don't mind giving my office number, not my cell number.
Okay. So what is the phone number if they have questions about ag for themselves?
And I will say that all of the education that I've done before I give that number out, all the education that I've done for real estate agents, I've encouraged them, if there's anything that you remember my phone number. If you're buying property that you have a question about agriculture,
right,
please call me. And in fact, if you're looking for agricultural land for somebody, call us ahead of time. Let's get a plan as far as what they want to do before you ever even look for that land.
Wow.
So that way you can find the land that fits their needs.
Absolutely.
Just like if you were looking for a house with someone that had 6 kids, you wouldn't look for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Right.
You would want something that fit their needs. Same way with agricultural land. If you're going to be producing hay, you don't want something with a lot of trees on it.
Right.
Because it's going to cost more to get that land ready to go for hay. So same way, ask us questions ahead of time, and then we can get a plan together. And you can go and search for that exact land that meets those person's needs. So
where is the land found? Are they going to the MLS, or is this just all under
yes,
the
absolutely.
MLS?
Going to MLS, yes.
Okay.
First of all, phone number 972-952-9273. That's my direct line into my office.
Okay.
And you can reach me there if you have any questions at all, and be happy to help you out. Where do you look for land? Yes, it's generally in the MLS.
Okay.
If you go and if I ask you today, I want to buy some land, let's go looking. You could look in the MLS. I could just tell you what city or what county I want to find land in, and we can go and we can start hitting it today and look at.
You're going to go with this?
No, I'm saying that if I ask you as a real estate agent, I want to buy some land.
Okay.
You could look in the MLS, and we could go and we could look at hundreds of pieces of property.
Is that a good way to buy land, you think?
Well, I don't think so, because what do I want to do with it? That's the question that I've always had is I want those questions before you ever even look for the land.
Okay.
So I could tell you, Jenna, I want to buy 25 acres in Rockwall County, and I want it to have good fences on it for cattle. And your search for 25 acres in Rockwall County might come up with 50 or 60 properties. But once we start defining, I want it fenced.
Okay.
I want to be able to run cattle. We might bring it down to about 3 or 4 different properties, and we can hit that in an afternoon. So
wow.
That's ultimately my goal with these programs for real estate agents. Let's ask the questions before they ever even look for the land so we can get a plan. And then it makes your job easier. The clients are happier with the purchase, and they're already into our system that we can help them out.
Someone like myself, I'm not an expert in farm and ranch, and you wouldn't call me necessarily I could give you a referral of someone that's an expert in that. But I'm not, you have to really specialize in that.
Right, exactly. I'm not a specialist whenever it comes to real estate transactions.
Right.
I can tell you I started sweating whenever you walked in and I saw some contracts in your hand. And
I brought a stack of contracts.
Are you going to be asking me questions about real estate contracts? Because I have no idea how to answer those.
Right.
But if I had a question, I would call you. I would call someone in the industry. So all I'm saying out of these programs is I want to make you aware of these are the different intricacies of the agricultural use, the tax exemption.
Yeah.
And then here's agencies that can help, namely Extension.
Mm-hmm.
So call us early. Call us ahead of time. If someone wants to buy property, call us first and say, let's get it nailed down as far as what you want to do, then go look for that property that meets those needs.
I have people that want to, that have money,
Yes.
And they just want to buy some land in the path of the North Dallas growth.
Okay.
And they just want to buy and hold. And they have the feeling that one day they're going to be that little farm in the middle of Plano kind of thing. And so what would that person need to think about? Buy and hold.
My question would be is what are you going to do with it from the time that you buy it while you are holding it until you sell it? What are you going to do with it? And
that is a great question.
Right.
I needed to know that.
Exactly. And so my answer would be what is currently being done on it?
It's just sitting there.
Just sitting
a lot
there.
of times.
So then no one's farming it.
No one's farming it. It has a bunch of trees and some cliche roads and.
Okay, so my question would be: you're going to be paying property taxes on that from now until you sell it. Right?
So when looking for land of that nature, make sure it has the ag exemption.
Right. You'll have a better opportunity to pay lower property taxes. But then, if you do find something that has the agricultural use that's ag exempt, then the question is, how are you going to keep it ag exempt? Because
you're going to have to make sure that it's producing, and you're going to have to put forth some extra effort there to save the money.
And the easiest thing would be what is being done right now. And if someone's leasing it out and has cattle out there, talk to that person and see if they'll continue to run cattle on it.
And so there has to be 3 to 5 acres per cattle.
Yes.
So if you've got 20 acres, then you have to have
5 or 6 cows.
5 or 6 cows.
Right.
On there in order for it to be ag exempt.
Yes.
But if you buy a piece of property and it's not ag exempt and nothing's being done on it and you decide to go ahead and lease it out for cattle, then you have to do it for 7 years.
5 of 7 years.
5 of 7 years.
You have to show, in order to qualify to apply for your ag use. Yes, you'll have to show 5 years of production history.
Let's say it's only had 3 years and you get the current owner to sign over an affidavit that says, I have been producing on this property for the past 3 years, then you have to only wait 2 years to get your ag exemption, and some people would do that.
Absolutely, yes.
That's known for people to do.
Yes.
And then the rollback taxes is
difference between what the property taxes you would have paid at market and what you actually did pay based on it being in agriculture, plus 7% interest for the last 5 years.
That's a rollback tax, folks.
Yes.
This is like real estate school 101. Yes. That's what we talk about in real estate school.
And that's the one that those can make or break real estate deals. The rollback taxes can.
That could be 13%.
Yes, absolutely.
That could be huge. So one of the things, if you haven't been with us the whole show, that's really just is like eureka, that the reason that we see these cattle, these longhorns, these steer right next to a big building is because they're getting the ag exemption. And I just thought they were doing it. I mean, it makes sense. What else are you going to do with the land?
Right, exactly. Well, as you're hanging onto that property, waiting for that magic time that you're going to develop that land, might as well pay lower property taxes.
Why not? I mean, it's your money. And then you have a couple of classes coming up, one at Ebby Holiday, the corporate office.
Yes, that's on August the 16th from 2 to 4 o'clock.
And people can come in and learn all about the ag exemption.
Right. That is really for real estate agents. Both of these classes are.
Here's a builder, Peter Shadid.
You have to renew your ag status annually. You'll only have to file you'll have to refile if the Central Appraisal District asks you to refile. You do not have to file every single year if the Central Appraisal District does not ask you to.
Interesting. Wonderful. If y'all have more questions, let us know because we're almost out of time.
Yes.
And then you've got Keller Williams and McKinney.
August the 22nd, 1 to 2 o'clock.
1 to 2 o'clock.
You can call the Keller Williams at 7200 West University in McKinney, Texas. If you're interested in that class, again, it's for real estate agents, and it's 1 to 2. I encourage everyone to come out and listen. Both these programs, again, I'm teaming up with Republic Title. They've been outstanding in terms of helping me provide this education.
Great company. And yeah, it's really good that you're out there. And also, people can just pick up the phone and give Dr. Blake Bennett a call if you are considering purchasing land, not sure about the ag exemption, or you just have questions, it's nice to be really well connected in the real estate industry, which I try to be, and keep everyone informed. And I hope you have enjoyed the show today. Next week, we will have Peter Shattuck on from Shattuck Homes. Woohoo! I look forward to seeing y'all. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon.
Almost said what's on my mind, but I didn't.